hardest, man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
All right, man. Vergil Ortiz says that Jaron Boots Ennis will be taken out if they cross paths. So he sends a warning to Jaron Ennis while doing an interview with the Zone. So he had a press conference at the Gallon Arena or something like that in LA for his March 19th fight versus Michael McKisson. So I guess somebody asked about Vergil Ortiz, so let's take a look at it. About Jaron Ennis. So he says Vergil Ortiz Jr., Jaron Boots Ennis will be taken out if they cross paths. So I like to hear it. Says Vergil Ortiz says he'll be ready to remove unbeaten welterweight contender Jaron Boots Ennis from his path if the highly ranked higher faces him soon. It's not likely that Vergil and Boots, 28 and 26, will cross paths anytime soon before one of them has had the chance to fight a world title. Ideally, Boots 21. Let's read the quote. He said, quote, so he said Crawford won't have any choice but to defend his title against Ortiz 23 once he captures WBO mandatory spot in his title eliminator against number 4 ranked McKisson 21-0 and 2 KOs on March 19th. So think about that is, like I said, I heard that he won't be fighting Jaron Ennis after that. He'll be fighting Alexis Rocha and Blair Kopp fight after that. So he ain't going right into a Terrence Crawford fight. He ain't fighting Terrence Crawford next. So they're gonna continue to protect their investment. They don't. Even though these dudes fight for a title, title limiter don't mean they ready. Do Michael McKisson even make any type of sense to get ready for Bud? No, neither do Blair Kopp or Alexis Rocha. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna fight Bud. If he do, it's a good fight. It's gonna be a lot of pain, joy and pain, like Frankie Beverly and Mays would say. He said, quote, this is an opportunity. If the opportunity is there and he's in my way, I'm going to take him out, Vergil Ortiz said to the Zone Boxing Show about Jaron Ennis. That's my job as a boxer. He said, so that being said, if our crossroads meet, then the fight is going to happen, Ortiz said, continuing about him potentially meeting up with Boots Ennis. Quote, I know this fight is going to be a complicated fight for me. This is a fight that's going to show a new Vergil. I haven't really been in with someone who moves a lot besides Brad Solomon. He said this guy's he's younger, he's undefeated, he's hungry. It's going to be a different me you see in there. Yeah, I'm definitely ready for all my fights, and this fight is going to come to a win too. So it's going to be a competitive fight. Vergil Ortiz said to Pheno Boxing. He said, "quote If the Errol Spence fight, he said if it's the Earl fight, if I had to pick because it's history there." Said Ortiz Jr. asked, "What fight does he want on all the top welterweights?" It's not bad blood type of history. He says we're from the same gym, quote, and we're both from the Dallas area. A fight at Cowboy Stadium is probably the biggest fight I can make. So at this point, team quote, we're taking fights that are going to make me a better fighter. I feel like the politics being mandatory, being number one, I feel like I'm already there. We're just sharpening our skills, so when the time comes to challenge the world title, we're ready for us. He says I'm training with Manny Robles now, but my dad is my main coach. We also bought my coach from Texas, Hector Beltran. Manny's adding to the training program, and it's going really well. Like right then and there, like bro, let Manny be the head coach. These daddies just keep getting in the way, bro. Let Manny be the head coach, bro. And that's who you want. And that's probably why, they say it was the time between Eddie Reynoso. But Teofimo Senior saying the same thing. I'm the main coach if I go to Eddie Reynoso. Well, y'all figure that out, man. Eddie Reynoso don't have to, you know what I'm saying? He don't have to work with nobody. So y'all train your own son. Same with Manny Robles. Like, bro, if I ain't running this camp, bro, what I need y'all for? Straight up and down. What I need y'all for? If I ain't running this camp, what do I need y'all for? Come on. He said, quote, if there was truth to that Vergil said about him briefly working with Eddie Reynoso, he says, we were at his gym for a few weeks, and timing was really bad. It was the holidays, and I think he had something going on, so he wasn't able to be there in person. We figured it was really bad time to start, said Vergil Ortiz. So the interview right there on his own box. So man, these dudes need to these fathers need to learn and let these trainers coach them. But guess what? It's not my problem. He 18-0, 18 knockouts. So whatever they've been doing, it's been working. But like I said before, man, too many Chiefs, not enough Indians. That can hurt your career. But like I said before, that's something that he has to figure out. And I think they will figure out overall the coaching situation and all that type of stuff. But like I said before, man, out of all the world champions, he said he want Errol Spence. Then my whole thing is why you going WBO route. You could have fought David Alvarez but politics. Oscar know the politics with WBC. Vergil know the politics, and he probably know Al Heyman ain't gonna let him get nowhere close to Errol Spence. Earl will probably vacate or at worst be the franchise champion to keep Vergil away. So like I said before, Jaron gonna go IBF. WBA already got some unofficial tournament that's been broken apart because of Ugas. People tend to forget that Earl probably gonna have to fight Stanislavski and Batuev. Then he got Keith Thurman creeping up, went from outside the top 40 to top 3. Jaron Ennis fighting in the title eliminator to be the mandatory. So like I said before, most people expected him to fight Michael McKissick, but I think not Michael McKissick, but he was going to fight Alvarez. Most people say he ducked Alvarez, but I don't think so. I just think they go on the WBO route, and that's the route for them. So I think it's a little bit politics behind that. I think it's some politics behind not going for the WBC. I don't think he afraid to fight David Alvarez at all. So, but Michael McKissick is a step down. I don't see how that gets you a title shot, versus Terrence Crawford. But like I said, he said he wanted to fight Vergil Ortiz. Vergil Ortiz want to fight Errol Spence. That's a big fight. They both from Dallas. He said Cowboy Stadium, but that may not happen to 154 pounds if it happens at all. So, like I said before, that's something they got to figure out. But I think him fighting Sandor and Martin would be even better, ranked number 4 for a title shot. But like I said, they call it they babying these fighters all the way to get a title shot because they know getting the belt is easy. They know they're gonna get a shot at the vacant belt, what I'm saying, or champion's not gonna fight them because they high risk, low reward. But what's so funny before I go into the Jaron Ennis Boots, him talking about taking out Boots. The funny thing about it is how Boots talked about how it made headlines that Sean Porter said Boots is overrated. He didn't say it from a skill set standpoint. Everybody took it wrong. He took it from a fan standpoint, where the fans were saying, and everybody got emotional about it. Boots said come out of retirement. There was a whole bunch of emotional shit. But if you listen to what he said, everybody just ran off with the overrated clip, but nobody listened to the clip in its entirety. And what he said was, he said the fans overrating Boots. But that's how it go in boxing. The fans gonna overrate anybody that can walk and chew bubblegum. That looks like the next best thing. We only know when Boots start fighting the fights. That's what he said. When Boots let Boots fight the fights and garnish that attention, he ain't fought the fights to garnish that attention. So, I mean, like I said before, Ortiz be getting all that hype. He fought in the better network because he's stopping everything that moving. But people missed the fact that Sean Porter whole crew in that same episode clown Vergil Ortiz for not having no defense. They say he takes shots to the face for the defense. Everybody overlooked that Sean Porter and his whole crew clown Vergil Ortiz defense. They said Vergil Ortiz got no defense. He blocked punches with his face. Nobody really talked about that. They clown Vergil Ortiz worse than Jaron Ennis. They clown Vergil Ortiz. They clown him about taking shots and not having no defense and taking shots with his face and they clowned him. They clowned him. But nobody talk about that kind. Everybody just ran off with the overrated, but that's because nobody listened to the interview. Everybody was like, "Oh, Sean," people said, "Oh, Sean called him overrated." So everybody went to that point in the chapters to see he was overrated, but nobody listened long enough because right around that mark he said it about Vergil Ortiz. So it's crazy to me. So yeah, that's something nobody talk about. But him and that's what he supposed to say. We supposed to say, well, look forward to that fight, and then if it happen, I show up and I try my best. No, he supposed to say, man, shoot, he come up this way. He supposed to say punks jump up to get beat down. He said he will be taken out. That sounds like a clear cut threat to me. You sound like he real say I will stop him. He said he really ain't fought no fighter with that movement other than Brad Solomon. And maybe that's why he fight McKisson. I ain't seen a lot about McKisson, but one thing I will say, you got the right guy with Errol Spence, because he ain't gonna show you a lot of movement like Crawford and Ennis will. But good footwork, good timing, be movement. But you better be fighting somebody with some movement if you plan on fighting Bud and Ennis. So you better be planning on fighting somebody with some good footwork. But like I said before, this is what we want to hear. I think they probably won't fight to 154 pounds. But like I said before, they notoriety is rising, but it's not rising to the Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather. Even the Errol Spence status is not rising because Vergil on his own and Jaron Ennis fighting on Showtime. Nobody really seeing him. Jaron ain't even start headlining on Showtime yet. So I mean, if we talking about the trajectory of this fight going, I mean, this fight might not be ready to come out the oven for a while by their standards. But Oscar De La Hoya, he's made fights. He's made fights prematurely. He's made fights on time. Oscar De La Hoya really he just babying Ryan Garcia. That's about it. Most of his other aces, like Canelo, he put Canelo in with Floyd, and I think he won't scare, but he playing with a different type of hand this time because Vergil Ortiz is and Ryan Garcia is pretty his aces, and then possibly he co-promote William Cepeda. So them pretty much his aces. If they start losing so far, then it's a wrap. So I think he might take a little more. He might take a little bit more, love and care with these fighters before he put them in on the deep end. But Ryan gonna have to go on the deep end, pretty soon anyway. So you better if Ryan float, then all you gotta do is keep Ryan Garcia happy. So if Ryan Garcia float, if it do good, then he just gotta keep him happy. He couldn't keep Canelo happy, and I think that everybody say, well, he had one job to do, and that was keep Canelo happy. But I think a lot of that had to do with honestly, a lot of that had to do with they had the beef over the Mayweather fight. How Oscar went into rehab. It didn't show up to the Mayweather fight. He felt that Oscar left him hanging. So I don't think that relationship ever really got patched up from there. And I just think he waited till his contract, he got his contract, and he got out of there. And he probably found that some of his money was going to Golden Boy. He could have pocketed the rest of the money. So he got the hell up out of there. So that's just right. So, yeah, I think once Oscar De La Hoya left him high and dry at the Mayweather fight and went to rehab, or whatever. I think that I think that relationship was the deteriorated. It was gone. It was none there. So I mean, it was reports that they was just on. They barely was speaking. It was just what was business. So hopefully you do better with Vergil and Ryan Garcia. But I wouldn't hold my breath seeing Vergil and Ryan Ennis no time soon. So I mean, we'll see. The father's already said nobody ducking nobody. It's gonna happen. That's what boxing do. Like I said right now, I don't want to see it right now. Let them get world titles and let Crawford and Boots get out the way. I mean Crawford and Errol get out the way, and they can be beating up on Keith Thurman and everybody else. So and kind of being guys like that. So but yeah, let me know what you girls and guys think. Check out the welterweight playlist. Check out the box news playlist. Good thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notification. We go live, we drop a video. Want to find me everywhere on the internet? Hit the Linktree link in the description. You can check me out on Spotify, the Goodfella TV podcast. For new content, ad-free content. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, and Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know in the comment section. Peace.